If you've watched the last couple of videos that I've put out, you've become aware that I am an admirer of TDs, especially big ones with big guns, those Russian ones. We just watched a game with my ISU 152, and before that the SU 100M1, two turretless TDs, both with fairly big guns. But as you all know, TDs come in all shapes and sizes, and they're not all big, right? They don't all have big guns. Some of them have little, little pointy guns like this. And it's a free world out there, guys. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know? So we're playing a different kind of TD today. This one has a turret. It has a little bit smaller gun, but it's stealthy and sneaky and a little sassy. And there's nothing wrong with an old-fashioned sassy TD. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. Has the commentary already devolved and gone downhill? Has it? Hang in there. It's going to be a good game, all right? Those of you who are already disgusted, right, watch this. Like, can you argue with that? Huh? It's going to be a good game, okay? It is. Look at the mini-map. Look at the mini-map. The whole team has taken the low ground. Well, not the whole team. Maybe a third of the team. A third of my team has rushed into the pit. The pit of despair, I call it. Which is a good tactical maneuver. If you research and study great victories in battle, throughout human history, you'll know that the way that you win a historic battle is you survey the battlefield and then you send a third of your forces, you rush down into the pit of despair and take the low ground. That's usually the key. And as you can see, my team is done precisely that. I don't know what they're doing. This is common on the EU server. It's what I find on the EU server is you can have games where the team makes a splendid and fantastic decision, and they all do it together. We're in it together, and they go for it. And just as easily, they can do something completely and totally, utterly moronic together. It's like it's more of a let's do it for the benefit of all of society. It's more of a, it's not a me first individual thing like in North America. I think there's a cultural divide. There's something dividing. It's a cultural divide. How else would you explain it that the third of the team just rushed into the pit of despair? You let me know in the comments. How does that work? Look at them down there. And the funny thing is that they're fighting one ELC. Look at the minimap. There's an AMX ELC BIS. That's basically, he is in the gravel pit now. Don't look at me. Look at the minimap. There's an AMX ELC BIS in the gravel pit. He's come off the ledge, and he's in there with them, and he's fighting all of them. And he's winning. And a T-67 now. Two little tiny tanks with no armor are fighting a third of my team in the pit of despair and annihilating them. So this is a GG, right? The game's over. If I only had a big TD right now, I could make them pay. 4-9. 5-10 is the score. They're annihilated. The pit of despair has been cleared out. In situations like this, you just have to not get too excited. Don't freak out. Just take your time and concentrate and try and make it work. That's not going to make it work. That was not... I thought I had a chance of hitting that, but I did not. I've moved myself into a position... Really, all I did in this game is I decided to move as far away from the cluster in the pit of despair as I could. I tried to put as much... I wasn't looking at the enemies, okay? I was trying to move as far as I could from my teammates. Because I think that's a correct strategy. When you see something like that happen, and you just put distance between it. It's like when you're driving down the highway and you see someone weaving back and forth, crossing the lines. You know, obviously he's either impaired or having some sort of a health problem. Or he's just not concentrating or not controlling his vehicle properly. You see that on the highway. What do? You put distance between yourself and that person. You apply the brakes or you accelerate it. You try and, especially if you're driving a motorcycle, you try and stay away from the Muppets that's around you. It's safer. And I think that's a strategy. It probably hasn't been discussed very much by the World of Tanks community. I think that's probably a very key thing in situations like this. And when you see a lemming train clusterfuck of Muppets taking the low ground, just drive in the opposite direction and put as much distance between yourself and them as you can, and then try your best. And that's what I'm trying in my little TD. And I gotta say, I absolutely adore this little TD. You know? Okay. I promise not to let the commentary go sideways. Oh! My gun is damaged. Let's fix that. Well, I'm laughing now because I'm thinking of when I was streaming. I was going on about the TDs, and you gotta like the big guns, and the bigger the better. And all the guys that are mainly men that are watching, mainly males, making all the TD jokes, right? And of course, one of my mods on the Twitch stream is Lady May, lovable little Lady May. And it's like 20 or 30 or 40 comments in the comment section going on about some big motherfucking TD, right? The bigger the better, and right? Grapple them, and all these comments, people laughing in the comments. Just good old boys having a laugh. And then after about 20 or 30 comments, Lady May types in the chat. I kid you not. She waited for a pause, right? And then she types in the chat, "More than a mouthful is a waste." And that won the best comment of. Now watch this. There's no Russian cloak of dispersion. Look at it. Concentrate on the game. There's no Russian cloak of dispersion. There isn't. There is none. It doesn't exist. She waited. It was just perfect timing. That's comedy gold. It was hilarious. But, maybe me retelling the story is not that hilarious. Maybe it was only hilarious live. I don't know. So somehow, while I've we've been talking nonsense here, somehow while the gibberish has been spewing out of my from my brain, and we're winning now is what I'm trying to say. It's 12-11. How did that happen? Well, I think it had something to do with me putting as much distance as I possibly could from the from my team. And this is a common it's a common thing. I think it's something you got to really just think about that next time you play. Like, actually really think about it. When you see teammates doing something that you realize is completely stupid, just run away from them. Just go as far as possible as you can from them, and usually good things happen. Or at least, I maybe that doesn't follow. Not necessarily will good things happen, but at least the bad things that are going to happen to them won't also happen to you. Because remember, all the enemies are going to be, it's like a feeding frenzy, right? It's like one of those fish balls in the ocean. They're all trapped, and the porpoises have put them into a little ball, and they're annihilating them, right? It's chaos. The shrimps have screwed up. There's a feeding frenzy going on. you don't want to be in there. You want to get as far away as you can, and at least the crap that's going to happen to them will not happen to you. And then maybe you can turn it around. I don't know. I'm trying to be philosophical here, but maybe I'm not. Maybe it's not the best analogy. Maybe the fish ball, the 20 million herring being attacked by 15 porpoises is not the best analogy. But I think you know what I'm trying to say, right? Right? Huh? Oh, look at this. Cromwell B. You thought you had it when you were winning 10-5. I know. You were typing in chat, no cap, kill all. Right? Look at you now. Oh, don't fall. Don't fall. You know what? I'm looking at the STRV on my team. Wouldn't it be nice if he got 8 kills? Look at that. And talk about gentlemen, right? Look at this. I'm just going to keep this guy lit. I've got a teammate. Look at him. There he goes, right? Just keep him lit. Keep him lit. Right? No fun for you!
Your assistance has been requested.
Did I say gentlemen? Gentlemen, yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, gentlemen. We're playing World of Tanks here, guys. World of Tanks. Gentlemen? Yeah. Good one. Good one. Good one. Yeah. Which reminds me, did you hear about the 3 guys that went to the bar? The Canadian, the American, and the Brit? Did you hear that one?